Hey folks, welcome back to HeartGold vs. Crystal. We are here in Violet City, and we are taking on the Violet City Gym. As you may or may not know, it is a flying type gym, and appropriately enough, all the actual things in the gym are raised up in the sky. So the birds have room to fly around, and they have open windows, and it's overall pretty cool. I remember in the anime it was just a huge, tower, and they had an arena at the top, so there was tons of free space. It was pretty rad. Anyway, no gym puzzle to speak of. If you're crafty and or lazy, you can walk on those glass panels on the side like I am here and avoid those trainers, kind of like you could in the original rock-type gym in Pewter City, Brock. But overall, not the most thrilling puzzle ever. But here we go, Falkner. Falkner is the first gym leader of this game, and he specializes in flying-type Pokemon, as you might expect. Now, he doesn't really have a good diversity of flying-type Pokemon, which is unfortunate. There are a lot of cool flying types in this game, but none of them are utilized because they're all later game, and they have, cool type combinations that you wouldn't necessarily be prepared to deal with, and they felt it would be unfair to have you face anything but a normal flying type. So he has Pidgey and a Pidgeotto. Not even a Spearow. One of the gym trainers has one, but he does not, despite Spearow being a badass. Anyway, Pidgey's nothing. He's nothing. Basically, just attack him, he can't do shit. Pidgeotto, on the other hand, can be annoying. Because if you were unlucky, you got hit with a bunch of sand attacks, your accuracy might be down low. And also, in the case of Webster, Pidgeotto's favorite attacking move, Gust, actually does over 50% of Webster's full HP, no matter what. It does, on average, about 20. And that means that I am stuck in a constant potion recycle loop. Because I can't... If I stop healing, I stop living, which is unfortunate. Now, there are two kind of tactics, two ways of going about this that could work from Webster's standpoint. If you have, a Totodile, just steamroll him. If you have a Geodude, throw some rocks at him. But Webster has two different strategies that he can utilize. First off, he can get in an early Poison Sting and poison Pidgeotto, and while healing and using potions over and over, Pidgeotto will be constantly losing health, and will eventually just die through a battle of attrition. That's if Poison Sting works on the first turn. If it doesn't work, you heal and use a bunch of potions and stall Pidgeotto out of Gust, or use potions until he stupidly does something different, and then use Poison Sting and hope that it poisons him. And if it doesn't, tough luck, back to the potions. I really didn't want to have to PP stall here, because PP stalling, first off, was one of my main tactics to fall back on during solo runs, and it's also just really boring, because it's using... you're watching this, look at this. We're halfway through this Falkner fight, and I've done literally nothing but use potions except that one Poison Sting. Anyway, I took a gamble there. I took a gamble because, like I said, Gust does on average 20. I had 23. He could have killed me, but he didn't. And so I took the opportunity, got in a Poison Sting, poisoned him, and now we're down to the actual active attrition, if that makes any sense. But it also put me in a more risky situation, because he does, on average, 20, he could do a little more, and I'm now in a vulnerable position where I could possibly be KO'd just by a normal attack, not even a critical hit. But if the random number generator is on my side, then I'll actually be able to gain a little bit of health, because he'll be doing slightly less than 20, and I'll be healing more than 20, and it'll be nice. But the important thing here is to not get hit with a critical, because if I get hit with a critical, it's all over, and that's always the danger when you're doing a PP stall or a poison stall in-game. If you're doing it in the metagame, you're probably doing it with Roost or something, but the principle is still the same. Now, I feel like Pidgeotto here has Roost on its moveset. It's a flying-type move that heals 50% of the user's HP, and also temporarily removes its flying type. I feel like he has it, but he's not using it because he wants to be aggressive, and he's so close to being able to KO Webster that he just keeps trying. But I'm pretty darn sure he has it. But he just didn't use it. But anyway, if you're decently leveled and don't have a type disadvantage, you will be perfectly fine for Falkner. He is not a danger whatsoever. If you're trying to beast him with a Chikorita or a Spinarak, or, I don't know, maybe you can get a Paris or something from the Pokewalker, he could be an issue, but by a lot of potions, you'll be fine. He doesn't exactly take severe extreme tactics. Just a little patience. And I believe that takes care of Pidgeotto, so that takes care of Falkner on the HeartGold end. Now then, on the Crystal end, he can be annoying for a somewhat different reason, but he's also even easier than he was before. Take a close look. Pidgey's level 7 rather than level 9, and I will tell you now, Pidgeotto is level 9 rather than level 13. Webster, on the other hand, is still level 13. So aside from minor differences in, like, 1 or 2 stat points off, Webster's going to be doing more damage to these guys, and they're going to be doing less damage to him. And that will make things a lot easier. One thing that Falkner can and will do in this battle, but I don't think he really did it to me, is use Mud Slap, which is a lot like Stand Attack. It'll lower your accuracy and make things hard to hit, but it also does some damage. Flying types are immune to it though, so maybe if you bring your own Pidgey and or Pidgeotto. But anyway, watch this. You remember on average he did about 20 per attack in HeartGold. Now he does significantly less, and Webster can actually live 2 hits from him. So my plan here was to use Scary Face to get him slower so that I could get in my attacks before he did in case something horrible happened to happen. And then just actually be able to wail on him, because I can actually get in and attack every other turn, which I couldn't before. Before I had to rely on luck. Now, of course, actual poison would be much appreciated, but it's much less necessary now. Unfortunately, it's still a bit of a tedious fight, because, as I stated many times before, Webster is not exactly an offensive powerhouse. But then again, neither is Pidgeotto. Come on, poison. Ah. But you can tell the poison stings are doing more damage. It is a true statement. This, by the way, is basically what you were missing in all those battles that I cut out from previous episodes and future episodes. Lots of healing, lots of poison sting. It's not the most thrilling, to be honest. I don't really like to have these slow battles in here, in videos, but it is kind of a natural byproduct of the Pokemon I'm choosing. But it is definitely not the most thrilling to watch, and it's hard to commentate over, just to say. Because, what can I say about this? Gust sure is super effective. Oh my god. Of course, this would all be much quicker if I got in poison earlier, but that is not happening. There we go. Been waiting for that. Right when I basically don't need it. And this is why Scary Face is nice, because looky here, I can, rather than healing to make sure I survive, which apparently I'm doing anyway. I could have just used Poison Sting and KO'd him, but okay, use a potion past his health, fine. Be that way. Be contrary. I think I wanted the poison to kill him, or I was just being paranoid, which is an okay thing to be, okay? But anyway, check out the aftermath after this commercial break. Anyway, yeah, his dad's Pokemon lost. God for frickin' bid. God forbid you train your own Pokemon. But anyway, he will give you the Zephyr badge. And in 4th generation, they changed the badge's effects a little bit. Like, originally, every other badge changed the level limit for traded Pokemon obeying you. And they changed it for 4th generation. I don't know if it was this game or Diamond and Pearl or whatever. But now, I mentioned there, I didn't mention there, he gave you the TM for Roost. In the original games, he would give you Mudslap. Both have their own uses on my team, but neither of them are on Webster, so you'll see it a bit later. Anyway, things happening with the egg. A little different, the Professor Elm's aid is at the Pokemon Mart rather than the Pokemon Center, for whatever reason. I think it's because they had devious things planned. Hello, Mr. Man. Another thing, once in a while in the original games, your mom would call you and say that she bought something and put it in your PC. Now this guy just shows up at a mart and gives it to you. Anyway, let's receive this egg from the assistant. And I'm assuming most of you are familiar with the concept of Pokemon eggs, but basically you carry it around in your party, and after a certain number of steps, it will hatch into a baby Pokemon. It's the miracle of life. Anyway, here's why I think they moved the location, is because they wanted to have a cutscene here. This was not in the original game. You'll come to learn more about this character as time goes on. But anyway, that egg, mysterious egg. What is inside that mysterious egg? Well, I will have you know that it happens to be my next team member, and so I just spent a really long time running around in circles so that I could see this. It's Togepi. I'm pretty sure having Togepi as an egg Pokemon for this is sort of a tie-in to the anime, or maybe the anime was pre-planned to tie into this, but the first egg in the anime was a Togepi egg, and that's not a coincidence. But anyway, Togepi here is my next team member, and you will see the various things associated with that choice in the upcoming episode. But for now, let's just name her Bree, and move on with our lives. Anyway, once you hatch the egg, Professor Elm will call you and be like, "Hey, you hatched the egg, come show it to me." Which we will do in due time, but not immediately. I'm just putting everything off in this episode, I'm sorry. It'll happen, you'll see it. It'll be cool. But anyway, that takes care of that, and I will see you guys next time for Route 32. Which is not in this direction.